Okay. Uh, I'm sorry. Did you say you had eight hours of time for this interview?
Yeah, if you want to talk for eight
Wow.
hours, that's cool.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Um, how did you find out about Sonod Hex?
Well, I've been on what Roll20 for like a year,
Yeah.
but I never really used it as a resource. I used it more of a searching games to play because I've never. No, that's not true. I've played through like voice apps like Discord or online, but usually I've played in person.
Yeah.
The thing is I haven't been in a game in like a consistent game except for Gloomhaven in a while.
Okay.
I was looking and this was the first one to pop up because everybody wants to be in it, and I was like, hey, let's throw my 2 cents in. Maybe I can get into it.
Wow. Everybody wants to be in this campaign. That's cool.
But I
Uh.
mean, like, since I've sent the message, there's what, been like 10 other people to be like, hey, can we join?
Yeah. I guess so. I guess that's true. Yeah. Um. Let's see.
I have not played this system before, so I've played other RPGs, but I think I would be study research and get back into it.
Yeah.
But from what I remember from AD&D, it's fairly similar to like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's more like combat and stats and things like that more than politics, right?
No. So, first and second edition is more about building a movement for your character, like a almost like a political movement,
Okay.
depending on what kind of character you create. So, for example, like if you
Then
were
I
to
guess I just misunderstood. Sorry.
go ahead, sorry.
Keep going.
Well, okay, so if you were to play like a fighter, it would be a like a monarchical kind of political movement because you become a lord or a lady, and you have your own little army and your own little keep and stuff. And then if you play like a cleric, you build kind of like a schism in your religion, and you develop a following that comes to follow you. You still preach about your God, but it's kind of like uh, the what would be a good example? I guess it would be like the Roman Catholics instead of the Eastern Orthodox. So
Okay.
you kind of build a little a schism in your religion, and your politics are based on religion. And then the same
So
thing is. Go ahead.
basically, it's just the characters were actively doing something to change our
Change the world.
future.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
The only there are very few classes that don't gain followers, but those classes are so powerful that it doesn't really matter. Like such as the wizard. They don't gain followers, and they don't have like a political sort of power really, but when everyone else is getting their political backing and stuff like that, their followers, um,
Mm.
the wizard is able to do insane stuff with their magic. And
Okay.
then um, the paladin is another class that doesn't gain followers, but that's only because they're so like humble and pious and all that. In second
Yeah.
edition, paladins have to be lawful good, and they're like some people call it awful good because they're so. Some people call it lawful stupid. Uh,
Yeah.
they
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, like they tithe 10% to their religion, and I mean it's a role to play if you want to play that role. And I don't have anything against paladins, but I've heard a lot of people talk smack about them. But they don't gain a following, but their charisma score has to be so high just to become a paladin that they basically have they can have, if they choose to, an army of henchmen, which are
Okay.
they're similar to a follower, but you can get henchmen at any time, not just at certain levels. Well,
Okay.
I guess any time after level 1, because of certain things. You have to be at least level 2. But
Mhm.
they gain those characters because of their charisma. And so
Okay. That
pretty
makes
much,
sense.
first and second edition, it's about not only playing the role of your main character, but also building, like a political following, depending on what class you choose, and then changing the world, pretty much. So, yeah, and
Okay.
then go ahead.
I'm just talking, not actually saying anything. Sorry. You.
Okay. Let's see. So, is it true from what I'm understanding? You said that you find out about Solenoid Hex from the LFG on Roll20.
What?
Uh,
Uh,
did you say you found out about Solenoid Hex through the LFG on Roll20, the searching for group feature?
yeah.
Okay.
Basically, when you click the games and you do join a game, you're the first one to show up.
Oh wow, that's really cool. I wonder what makes it like that. Huh. That's awesome.
Um.
Um.
Yeah. No, you're right at the top. I think it might be a mix of one open slot, and you do get a lot of messages compared to the other ones that are showing up first.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I
Uh.
also played the most hours.
So a little bit of background about Solenoid Hex is this campaign has been running off and on since 2002, and it has had
Amazing.
it's had several different groups of players over the years. We're currently in, I want to say, the 4th group of players, and this iteration, the 4th iteration of this campaign, is it's been all online on Roll20, and
And it was offline before then.
yeah, it was offline before then for about 14 years. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of history, and there are a lot of characters associated with this campaign. So that brings kind of a rich story to the game. And we've been playing online on Roll20 since June of 2016. And
Okay.
there's one original player from that time that started playing in the original online group, who he as a player is still in the group, but his original character has died, and he created a new character. It was only about, I'd say, 3 or 4 months after we started online that his first character died, and he created a
No.
new character, and he's gotten his new character up to, I believe, level 9, and has a
Okay.
following of his own. So with that being said, knowing that there are some players who've been with the game for years, how long do you plan on playing in the world of Solenoid Hex?
Well, if you let me join the world, of course. I really have like no end limit. Like I can't say what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah,
Right now I'm living in a foreign country with a different job,
yeah,
change jobs, and so who knows? Maybe I get a job that would interfere with it.
right.
I'm not looking for like a short-term campaign. I want to find a group that I can join consistently and build a character with lots of history and like stories that can be mentioned and
Good. Okay, I'm so
that kind of
relieved to
thing.
hear that.
Exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm so relieved to hear that. You have no idea. Actually get a lot of people who are like, well, I'm in high school and I just want to play over the summer. or spring break is coming up and I want to play for two sessions and then go back to college or things like that. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad to hear that you want to play basically open-ended until something in your life changes where you can't play anymore. So that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear
Hey, real
that.
quick,
Go ahead.
before I forget, because I really hate Roll 20 because of the times it's posted is all over the place and it's never consistent.
Yeah.
What time is, or
What?
what day is it? What time and what time zone?
Okay. So I'm gonna give
Like
you a
that.
link. I'm gonna give you a link to the um, LFG real quick. And the cool thing about Roll20 is that it will adjust to your time zone. So,
See, that's what I thought it was doing, but then when I tried to post my own game, it
uh-huh.
but in a different time zone. Look at
Um,
your guys's, it says that you are in 12 hours. However, if I take the time you posted and put it into my time zone, like 10 hours. No, like 20.
okay. So go ahead and
So I'm all kinds of confused.
did you get the link in the direct message?
Yes, I'm opening it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm in the Pacific time zone. And for me, it says 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 hours from now. Which is not actually 12 hours from now. It's more like I'd say 13. Although it is 20 after 9. So it's 12 hours and some change from now. So like 12 hours and 40 minutes. Okay.
All right.
So what time zone are you in?
I'm in KST. That means it's 3 a.m. my time.
It's 3 a.m. your time. So does it say 12 hours from now for you?
Yes.
Okay.
But what it says, this is where I'm confused on. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. It says Sunday, 10 at 3 a.m. GMT, and then it says GMT plus 9. It says the GMT, which is throwing me off. Oh, wait, I get it. Greenwich. Oh,
Yeah, Greenwich Median Time or whatever.
plus 9 hours. Okay, I get it now.
Plus 9?
Anyway.
Wow, you must be in like Korea or something.
I am in Korea.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said you were in Korea. All right. Okay. Yeah, so the game's in 12 hours and some change from now, so approximately now for me it's 9:21 p.m. So it's 12 hours and 39 minutes from now. So
for me it's 2:21 p.m.
yeah. So at that time, is that going to work for you or is it like too early in the morning?
Well, since it's happening on my Saturday nights and I have to wake up early-ish on Sundays anyway, and I never do anything on Saturdays.
Okay.
If you're willing to join it in, I'll definitely give it a shot. I can't say that, like maybe a month or two down the line, it just gets to be too much.
Right.
But I don't think it would.
Yeah.
Fairly, I can adjust my sleep schedule to like wake up at 3 and then do my stuff in early morning, which is no problem for me. I usually wake up around 5 a.m. anyway.
Okay. So the sessions in this game, they last for 5 hours.
Good.
Is that gonna hurt or?
Fine. So I stream on Twitch at noons on Sundays, so I usually wake up early to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Oh, noon. So that gives you like a 4-hour window after our game. Okay, that's cool. So if you felt tired, you could like take a nap and then stream something.
Exactly.
Cool.
And I'm not much for like a person who goes out drinking on Saturdays, so
Yeah.
I could easily just like from 5-hour nap, go to sleep like 9:30 and wake up with no problem, and then take a 3-hour after, which would get me my total sleep count, and is actually healthier. Do you know it's healthier to take naps than one big sleep throughout the day?
I've heard that. I've heard about like genius scientists taking 4-hour naps and then waking up and working for like 6 hours or 8 hours or something, and then going back to sleep for 4 hours and then getting up and working for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's That's what I heard about the. Has something to do with just your brain chemistry or something. But
Yeah, but if I do it like that, like I really wouldn't be missing anything on Saturdays.
yeah.
I spend it at home playing games.
Okay.
If I'm
Okay.
honest.
And streaming, yeah.
I don't stream games as much. I'm starting to. I actually cook.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You okay. I've actually watched a few cooking streams. That's cool. Would you be interested?
if you've ever seen it,
Say again.
what were you gonna say? Is
I was about to say, would you be interested in streaming our game if you were to play in Solid Hex?
that all right?
Yeah,
Because I
of
know you
course.
already stream it, so I wasn't sure if you wanted if you were willing to have a dual stream thing.
Of course, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, as much attention as we could get for our campaign is, is good with me. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm all
mean,
for it.
sweet. Well then, yeah, I could do that too.
Nice, nice. Okay, so it sounds like you mainly use the microphone like on your computer. Is it like a laptop computer?
Computer. I have a nice old clunky thing, and it doesn't actually. I've tried buying headphones with speakers.
Yeah.
It doesn't connect to this.
Ah, okay. Okay. Does it
I can't
have
update. But
does it have USB ports on it?
yeah, no, I've tried it. My computer literally just is like, this program is too difficult for me to handle.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay.
Lost maybe
Uh
close to $150 over the course of the years I've had this laptop trying to get something with a
yeah.
better sound system
Yeah.
and microphones. But nope, can't do it. However, I can go through my phone with the through my phone with the microphone. Like that
Okay.
would be a headphone set.
Yeah.
Like so
How does that
there's
sound?
that. Why is this sound not okay?
Um, I'm I'm just worried about like feedback. If some of the other players were talking and the sound was coming through your speakers and maybe your
I'm
microphone would
getting
pick it
picked
up.
up by the mic.
Yeah.
Um actually, oh, can I tune?
Usually a cell phone with with earbuds, the microphone on the earbuds is usually not sensitive enough to pick up computer speakers,
Yeah.
especially if you've got.
Can I real quick
Go ahead.
second? I want to test something. Is that all right? See if I
Yeah.
can fix it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You still hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hey, well, I just have headphones. I can plug them in. It's still the mic from my computer, but all the sound gets wired through the headphones, so it can't pick up feedback.
Okay, cool, cool. All right.
That's problem solved there.
So I have a couple questions that I usually ask
Of course.
about hardware, mostly because some I've had some players who've had like issues with their internet or wireless signals in the past. If you don't mind me asking, how does your computer connect with your router? Is it via Wi-Fi, or do you use Ethernet cable, or?
It's Wi-Fi.
Are you in the same
I don't even know
room
if
as your router at least?
it's literally like a foot away from me.
Oh, okay, it's a foot. Okay, all right. So it's not going through like, four
Yeah,
walls
internet.
from your concrete garage or anything like that.
Not at all.
Okay, sweet. Okay, and then how does your router connect with your modem? Is it like coaxial cable, like for normal cable connections, or is it some kind of like cell phone internet? Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Clearwire or Clear. They have like a cell phone antenna, and it uses some I think an HDMI cable from
Okay.
the box to the router. I was just wondering if you have like normal internet, like cable internet, or is it something weird like cell phone internet or like maybe
I'll be
satellite internet?
honest with you.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, you're not sure.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't set it up. It was set up when I moved here.
Okay, so it's provided
Do you
by
know much?
the apartments or whatever?
Um, how much do you know about Korea and internet? Out of curiosity.
Not much.
You have the best internet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're
Like fastest and most reliable internet of like at least in the top three of the world.
nice.
Like
Nice.
I've never had, even when I'm like downloading 10 million games at the same time. It usually is pretty fast.
What about when it's
Like,
like pouring down
fine.
rain outside? Does that change anything?
No.
Okay, so it's probably um like hard line from your router to your modem, and then your modem is probably like ground-based internet. So that's good. Okay, so probably
If it ever does become an issue to stream and do money, right? Of course you do that.
yeah, so yeah,
Ever
when
an
you're
issue
running
with me doing both? Sorry.
yeah, when you're running Roll20 and Discord and streaming, it can slow things down on your computer if you don't have a decent processor.
I might not do the streaming, at least not until I'm sure my computer can handle it.
Yeah.
As for this, I could just do this through my phone, which is LTE data unlimited
Oh, okay.
on my
Yeah.
computer anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So Discord through your phone would actually speed up your computer.
Yeah,
And
so I'll
you
just roll D20 through the computer and then do all the voice chat and all of that through my phone.
okay, okay. Are you on your phone right now?
Oh, this is my computer.
Okay, okay. Would it be okay if I heard you speak through your phone, or just however you were thinking about connecting to your phone, like whether it was with
Sure.
earbuds or whatever?
No problem. Here, let me. I will reconnect in a second.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to be on it till I connect over here. Hello.
Hey. Okay, so I do need to turn you up,
That's
but
so much louder.
yeah, I do need to turn you up, but it does sound um it's a little bit more like I'd say studio quality for some reason, like there's less echo.
Is that good or bad?
I like that. I like
Okay.
less echo. So yeah, you actually sound better on your phone. Must be a smartphone
Yeah,
like an
but
iPhone or something.
no, it's an Android. It's an
Oh,
old
okay.
Android. I need to get a new one.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of already answered this question. It was what kind of ISP do you use, and you probably don't know who your internet service
Don't
provider
know.
is.
I don't even
Yeah,
know what
'cause
that is. Oh,
so
my internet service provider?
yeah, internet service provider is like the company. So that would give me an
Yeah.
indication of what kind of internet you actually have.
I don't think me telling you is actually going to help you. I'm probably LGTE, or not LGT, KST. Oh my God, what is it called? KT, LGU plus or KT or
Okay.
SKT.
Okay.
And none of those are outside of Korea, so.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then the next one is, have you played D&D before?
Yes, I've played primarily DCC. I'm currently, well, I guess I count it as D&D. We're playing Gloomhaven right now,
Okay.
which is, different, but
What's DCC? I'm not familiar with that.
it's Dungeon Crawl Classics. It was
Oh.
made around 1970s. It's how to put it? Like, the campaigns are inside of a glass bottle. It's not like a giant world adventure mode. It's just straight up, you go into a dungeon, you kill things, you try not to die by traps, you find treasure, you move on to the next adventure.
Okay, so just pure dungeon hacking.
Oh yeah.
No.
Like, it is literally, you start that game with level 0, and the likelihood of any of them surviving is pretty slim.
Okay. And there's like little to no role playing, or do you guys role play while you're exploring the dungeon and talk to each other, or is it
I've played both. The ones that I tip because I run it sometimes.
Yeah.
I have never found a group of people who wants me to run it and plays heavy role play. I don't know why, but when
Huh.
I played it for 2 years, we did role play. Um, I will admit I have not been in a RPG game that had heavy role play. However, I'm a theater person and a writer, and that's always been something I've missed.
Outstanding. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so like
That's
if you
impressive.
want role play, I got role play.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, Solenoid Hex is roughly 50-50 role play / exploration combat.
Okay.
And so the characters get, some of them get really in depth in their relationships with each other and their friendships, and it gets really interesting sometimes, especially when differences occur.
Okay.
You know, because it causes more drama, but it doesn't happen very often though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there are a lot of role playing situations like in towns,
Okay.
when they come back from their dungeon halls and stuff like that, and they're selling off their treasures and, you know, scooping in the gold for, you know, selling these ancient art pieces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they'll have, you know, lots of role playing situations in taverns and hotels and brothels and bathhouses and things like that. So yeah, it gets pretty interesting.
I mean, I'm all for that. Like I said, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just never have found a group that also likes it.
Right. And we track.
I like the people who like.
Also, we track
Sorry.
character. Sorry, we also track character birthdays. So sometimes
Oh, that's so
happens to
cool.
be yeah. Sometimes there are parties. You know, if a character has a birthday, especially when they're in town, then
Something happens.
yeah, they'll sometimes they'll throw each other parties and things like that, give each other gifts. Okay. But I'm sorry for interrupting. What were you about to say?
I've already forgotten. It wasn't important.
Okay. And then so do you usually run it, or are you usually a player, or is it about 50-50?
It's about 50-50.
Cool.
I mostly run it because I love DCC, but nobody else knows how to run it, so I'm usually the one who runs it.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's pretty mixed. Like right now, have you ever played Gloomhaven? I still count it.
No.
But have you ever played Gloomhaven?
Is that specifically a DCC world or something?
No, it's probably the best version of Dungeons and Dragons as a board game without it actually being Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Basic idea is that you get your character and you deal with. It's very heavy on the combat as well.
Yeah. Is that
I
with,
recommend
like,
it for
minis?
anybody who likes. Yeah, with
Okay.
lots of minis.
Minis and a battle mat and cards and dice.
Well, it's kind of. It's not minis. It's actually, or it's minis. It's not a map. It's. Oh Jesus! I just made a mess. It's board pieces that fit together to create a map.
And you can like rotate them and switch them around so it's a different map every time.
Pretty much, and
That's cool.
it comes with a series of campaigns, and each campaign has a different map setup and different characters to fight, and each of them have like treasure chests, and you have to like collect the loot as they drop it, otherwise you don't get it. And it's built in a way that you could do it as a one system or a one shot, but it's also built in a way that you can do a campaign. There are 97 main stories in the campaign, and like there's I think 30 something side quests that if you unlock them you get to do them as well.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's not quite as it's so cool. Like anybody who likes D&D and RPG games, I feel like they'd love Gloomhaven. It is so much fun.
Now, was that set up for like 3rd edition back in the day, or is it 5th edition rules?
You know, I honestly have no idea. You're talking about Gloomhaven, right?
Yeah, like the combat system. Is it like one of
Let's find out.
specifically one of the
Oh no, the combat's a little different. The way it is your character. It's a card-based thing, so you start each game. So my character is called a scoundrel. He's like a thief. or
Yeah.
rogue kind of character.
Yeah.
She. And I start the game with 9 cards, and each card have 2 abilities.
Mm.
There's a top ability and a bottom ability, and on my turn I can choose any of those 2 cards. I have to do 1 top card ability and 1 bottom card ability.
Huh.
And then if we're attacking, we flip over cards which alter the basic damage caused by them. There's no actual dice.
Right.
They made it cards essentially.
Sounds almost like 4th edition. Because I heard there was
Well,
a way to play 4th edition with no dice.
Similar. What? D. Oh, it's weird typing with this hand. Let's see, it says. It's about, yeah, it says like the combat is similar to 4th.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, have you played 2nd edition D&D before?
No, I'm gonna maybe I've tried a lot of different versions, but not enough or with a long-lasting impression of me having played it.
Okay.
I may have done like a one-shot at some point.
So, one really cool thing about AD&D 2nd edition is that there's basically dice rolls for everything. So we'll be using.
Oh, that's DCC.
Okay. Okay. And then
like that's the one complaint everybody has for DCC is how much dice roll there is.
Yeah. And some of those dice rolls are basically DMIs only. So if you were to play at a tabletop with a DM and some other players, usually the DM would have like a DM screen and would be rolling some dice behind the screen, and that kind of it. I don't know. It has a kind of a dual effect. Like when the DM suddenly rolls some dice, and you hear it on the table, yeah, it can be terrifying. And then you wonder, like, hey, did I just like pass a secret door or something?
Or we're in the middle of a forest and there's nothing around us. Why are they rolling dice?
Yeah, something like that. So, sometimes when you're playing on a tabletop versus online, some of the mystery disappears because obviously the DM's rolling some dice, but
we don't get to hear it and have that anxious
luckily I have digital dice turned off in this campaign, so there's going to be a lot of dice rolls behind the scenes that you won't see or hear. And so there's going to be a lot of random stuff going on in the background, and sometimes wild situations will come up because of that. Like your party could get surprised in the middle of the night while 2 people are on guard shift, and it's boom, a bunch of soldiers of like one type of monster. By soldiers I mean mooks, like a bunch of goblins or kobolds, and then the 2 people on guard get surprised by them and they're basically ambushed, and all hell breaks loose because of that. Maybe they drop, maybe they die, maybe they don't, maybe the goblins attack some people in their sleep, maybe not. So there's all kinds of weird little situations that can come up because of that, and it's because of systems that are pretty much unique to 1st and 2nd edition AD&D that I don't think really crossed over to 3rd, 4th, and 5th editions. Such as the example I just gave you, which is surprise. Another thing is that I use a lot is there's actually a mechanic for role playing. It's called charisma reactions, or charisma reaction rolls. So when you're speaking with an NPC, if you're trying to get something out of that NPC, like you're trying to get them to do something, or you give them an order, or you ask something of them, I will judge your demeanor at the time that you let them know that you want them to do something. And then behind the scenes, there's a 2d10 roll. And I actually have a macro set up for this, so it's really simple for me to do. But in a face-to-face game, I would have to open up my DMG and look at this table, and then I would cross-reference your character's demeanor when they make the request, roll 2d10, adjust for your character's charisma reactions modifier, which I would have to ask you for, because I wouldn't have it memorized normally. And then I would adjust that die roll with your charisma reactions modifier, and then cross-reference the NPC's reaction to your request, whether it be friendly, cautious,
aggressive,
hostile, yeah. And because of that, sometimes non-player characters will be offended, particularly if your character is not very charismatic.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes they might just out of the blue try to fight you because you ask them out on a date, or you ask for a discount on your longsword you're trying to buy from them. So yeah, neat little things can happen in the storyline if you choose a race that's not very charismatic to certain other races, or you just have like a super low charisma score. So there's a bunch of little almost like mini games like that where your actions are causing dice rolls, and they influence what happens to pretty much the whole group. Because if you get in a fight with the barkeep, what are your buddies gonna do? Are they just gonna sit there? Who knows? They might defend you, and one of them might end up killing the barkeep if he or she is trying to kill you.
Which could make the situation worse.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of neat little mechanics like that behind the scenes. And then there's a lot of stuff that you will see, especially during combat when people are rolling attacks and damage and stuff. You'll be able to see all their rolls. All the combat rolls are open to everybody to see. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell when it comes to dice in this game. Okay, so you've played things similar to D&D. So have you used Roll20 before?
No.
Okay, gonna be your first time on Roll20?
Yeah, I have been messing around with it because I miss RPGs, and so I've messed around with it as a GM, trying to I keep saying mess, sorry. Figuring out the way things move and all the status, and I've been watching like videos, so I'm not like a brand new on it, but I would still have to research how to like do stuff.
Yeah. So when it comes to the game in particular, I have automated most aspects of the game. Like most of the dice rolls are going to be pretty much in a macro. So most of the time you'll just be clicking on your character's token, and then there'll be buttons across the top of the screen that pop up, which are token actions. And you'll be pressing different ones depending on what you're trying to do. So I have one, like a token action for rolling initiative. I have a token action for making attack rolls. Right. Another one for saving throws. Another one for rolling any kind of check in the whole game, whether it be ability checks, skill checks, or proficiency checks, et cetera, et cetera.
So basically, you've made it as easy as possible for us to do with the Roll20 system.
And yes, and as fast as possible, so you won't be opening up the dice roller too much. And yeah, because that's kind of a waste of time in my opinion. When you have to look at tables and roll dice and compare numbers to each other. So I've automated most of the game.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah, if you're trying to learn the AD&D second edition system, like how all the mechanical things go together, this might not be the game for you because everything's so automated. But if you're trying to learn how to, like, in what situations they're appropriately rolled, then this might be the game for you.
Yeah, for me, I just want to role play again.
Good, yeah.
RPG.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I'm not, like, at some point, especially if I am able to play long term with you and I really start enjoying the game, I'm gonna take the time to really understand the rules and everything rather than just the automated system.
Yeah.
But that isn't, like, primary need of mine.
Yeah. I think that you're gonna like this group because there's a lot of personalities that it seems like you're gonna mesh with pretty
Yay!
well. So, did you complete the Roll20 tutorial at least on your account?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
I did the tutorial and I've made a map and I moved some tokens around and.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some.
So, I'm pretty much liking where this interview is going so far.
Me too.
So barring any kind of hardware issues, what kind of character do you want to make? So the reason I asked this, but before you answer, I just want to say that this campaign isn't really about like just making something kind of simple so you can learn the system. It's about playing the character you always wanted to play, whether someone said it was, too powerful or not, but they never let you play. The one character you always wanted to be, but you never had the chance, or your DM always said no, that's too powerful, or too Mary Sue or whatever. Because all the characters in this campaign are each player's like real ultimate character of their dreams. What is the character of your dreams?
There are two of them.
Okay.
One of them has existed briefly, and I just love him to goddamn pieces. And it would be amazing to bring him back to life. His name was Belidian. He was a dwarf who did not fight. Instead, he would sneak around, grab the treasure, and then attack when the enemies weren't looking, and usually killed them because he was way OP.
So he sounds like a rogue type of character?
Yeah, he was a dwarvish rogue kind of thing. He had magic powers for some reason, too. He also had a golden cat. He was weird and beautiful, and I love him. And I'm not sure how well he would mesh with this system, so that's the one thing. However, my dream... I am a huge fan of druids, and I've never actually been able to play one in a long-standing campaign.
Really?
Because every time I get a chance to choose druid, it's always one-shots. So I enjoy playing it, but it's never been like long-standing. And the long-standing ones I've joined, they're always like, oh no, we already have a druid.
Well, guess what?
I want to be one.
Have I got the game for you?
Do you guys need a druid?
Currently, the only druid in the party is a non-player character.
Okay.
So yeah, that the druid niche has never actually been filled before in this campaign.
We'll consider it filled.
All right, all right. So
yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, when people apply to the campaign. By starting a new thread in the LFG, I usually delete the new thread. So I may have deleted your application. And I usually try to invite people directly off of their application, because there's actually a little button when people apply. Right next to their name, there's a little button that says, invite to, the campaign. So I'm just gonna search for your name real quick in the application thread and see if your application is still there. What's your player name or whatever on Roll20?
It's Marley H. And I'm still there. February 2nd.
Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna invite you to the game right now.
I'm going to accept it right now. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I didn't think this would go this well.
Okay.
I thought like something would happen. You'd be like, oh, sorry, wait, we're full, or oh, sorry, I don't like you. I don't
Uh,
know.
I think you're gonna mesh well with this group. I really do. Um,
All right, accepted.
okay. So if you could join me on the tabletop, we'll see how well your system takes the new GIF environments. Are you aware
All right,
that
well, let me close.
Roll20 now
Go ahead.
has? Are you aware that Roll20 now has moving tokens?
I heard about it. I have
Okay.
not seen it functioning in real life, but I've seen videos.
Okay.
All right.
So on this map that's about to load up, I have a winter
Should I
scene.
hit launch game, by the way?
Yeah, launch game. Yeah.
Okay.
If
Just
your
clarifying.
if your computer's a little on the older side, it might take about 5 or 6 minutes for this web page to load up. So just be aware,
Okay.
not to don't refresh or anything. Just go ahead and let it load, and hopefully everything will load up. I think this is this scene, or not scene, but map really. It doesn't have dynamic lighting enabled right now, but I did set up like snow effects on it.
Okay.
So it might be a little slow when it loads. Who knows? We'll see how.
Another option is, since it is going to be at 3 a.m. and most people here are sleeping.
Yeah.
In Korea, they have PC bongs, PC rooms, which have state of the line. Is that the right way? Top of the line.
State of the art. Top of the line. State of the art.
State of the art. That's the one I'm looking for. State of the art computers, usually no older than like 6 months, with the hardest hardware they can get.
Yeah.
They're designed to be gaming computers.
Right.
And I have a really nice one, and with a really good mic system and everything else like that. So I could potentially, if this doesn't work for some reason, I could zip over there and if I put on shoes, it would take me about 10 minutes to walk down the hill.
Okay.
And we could also see if it runs better over there, which is,
Yeah.
I love that PC bong. I have no problems walking.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's cheap too, so it's not like I'm spending $10 million or something.
Yeah, just a couple cents per hour or something.
It's about $1 per hour, but with
bad.
really comfy chairs, really nice headphones,
Nice headsets.
food that I want.
Yep.
Oh, like really nice headsets. Some of the newest keyboards, the mice system that have come out.
Yeah.
Anything you do right now? Ooh, it looks like I see squares.
Okay.
And I hear noise.
Yeah, you should hear kind of like a blizzardy effect. And
yep, it's coming out through my computer.
Really quiet. Yeah.
That's going to be one thing to think about, though, is that if I have Roll20 on here, you guys might get feedback from. Can you hear my computer making the sound?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right. Well, I might just not hear the cool sound if I do it here. All right. Well, I see pixelated. What's the word I'm looking for? Background.
Yeah.
Textures. Textures are loading. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I see characters.
Okay.
I don't see anything else. I just see. Oop. Yep, see that.
Okay. So this is the current
See
party.
Okay.
And
look, there we go. We're all loaded up. I'm all nice and not pixely, and I got some snow and.
Okay. So I'm going to first of all put down a token for you.
Yay.
Just so that you can roll stats, and then I'll also give you a character sheet. So even rolling stats it is based on token actions. So I had to give you a token first, and then I'll give you, let's see, where is an extra character sheet? Miscellaneous handout.
Oh, my computer did so much better with this than I expected. Like, I really expected it to not work, and I'd have to walk to the PC bomb.
Oh, yeah. cancel, stop, and close that. Okay, so I'll put this at the top. Okay. And
This is a very pretty map.
yeah, that's not even half of it. Wait till we get some dynamic lighting in here and all that. So let's see. Edit. I'm gonna change the name to Marley for now. Marley.
Did you change it to Akelia? No, I guess. Oh wait, I don't know what name. Jesus, go with Marley. We're good.
Just for now until you actually pick a character name. Okay, so save changes, and then I'm gonna show to players. So you should be able to see a character sheet right now.
I do.
So go ahead and at the top bar where the mouse pointer turns into a cross. If you double click on there, it will minimize the character sheet into the background, and you can drag it around the screen. You can do that to actually anything, any window that pops up on your screen, including the turn order tracker, which looks like this. You can actually do that to the turn order tracker. You can do it to the dice roller. You can do it to handouts. I'll show you a handout real quick. Here's a handout. You can do it. Go ahead and minimize that, and you'll be able to see. Yeah, so you can minimize those, and then real quick, I'm going to name this token after your. Well, assign it to your character sheet. So Marley, enter. Okay, save changes. And then I'm going to open it real quick to see that it, in fact, does. Oh, come on. Oh, wait. Okay. I minimized it.
I see attack, checks, initiative, jog and run, level up, raise, special powers, whisper, DM, cover ammo, character creation. And the red, green, and blue buttons, which I still don't know what they are.
So, your character sheet that you minimized, see how it still has the red X box in it? Go ahead and click on that red X box, and it will actually close the character sheet again.
I don't have a red X box. I have an X.
Yeah, the red. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and click on that X to close it, and then a really cool function of your token is go ahead and hold the Shift key, and then double left click on your token right here, and it'll open up your character sheet directly from the token.
All right, yeah, got it.
Okay. So, and then go ahead and minimize your character sheet again, and then click on your token again, and where it says character creation, the character creation button at the top of the screen, go ahead and click on the character creation button, and it'll roll stats for you and a list of optional traits. And if you're not satisfied with your ability score rolls, I do allow one reroll if you want to. I think the ability or the ability score requirements for druids is like 13 charisma and 12 wisdom. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking it up right now.
Right. Quick question. It doesn't actually have the doesn't tell me which ability scores would go with which specifically. I'm figuring like the first one is probably strength, and then agility or
no? Actually, so this is method 5 character creation, which means you take 4 6-sided dice.
Right, I was reading about that.
Yeah, so you take 4 6-sided dice and roll them,
and you get to determine where they go. Right.
Well, you the lowest roll out of the 4d6, you take that out, set it aside, and you add up the 3 highest rolls. And you do that 6 times to get 6 different numbers. And then, you arrange them however you want. So usually you come out with numbers that will allow you to be any class and race combination, usually. But, sometimes you'll get numbers that don't quite allow you to be what you want. I'm looking up the druid right now. Class descriptions. Priest and druid requirements. A druid must be human or half-elven. He or she must have a wisdom score of at least 12 and a charisma score of 15 or more. So it looks
I got
like...
the charisma. Oh, no, I could do both of them, actually. I have a 14 and a 15.
Yep. So with these stats, you would be able to be a druid. However, if you're not satisfied with these, you can roll again. But you know, that's only if you're not satisfied. You do have to stick with the second one. So with this one, you're definitely able to be a druid. The second one could be worse, but it could also be better.
Worse.
So it's
I have a 7.
completely up to you.
I think it could definitely be a 7.
Yeah, if you feel like testing your luck, go right ahead, and then click that character creation button. I'm guessing that it's probably going to be a little better.
Probably. The option of the social rank is something that you have to stick with as well, right? Is that going to be retrained?
That's optional traits as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think I'm going to hit it one more time.
Okay.
I could lose my ability to be my druid, but in that case, I'll be whatever.
Or you could possibly choose a race that allows you to boost your scores to the point where you can still be a druid.
Oh, that's true too.
But,
all right,
yeah.
we're gonna hit it one more time.
I think chances are you're gonna get
better.
Yeah, I think chances are you're gonna get better rolls. Generally.
All right, here we go. Nope.
Wow, a 17.
Well, yep, and no.
17.
The 17 is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is fitting. This is one day before my birthday, so yep, we're going with this one.
Nice. Yep.
Right. I definitely have
12,
some lower scores, but that 17 and a 12 and another 12 would be nice.
Made a big difference, though. Yeah.
It really did.
Your character is definitely going to be making friends pretty easily, because I think you have to put that 17 into charisma.
I mean, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like the smoothest tongue of a druid ever found.
Yeah, pretty much. With a 17 charisma, your reaction adjustment is going to be +6. So that is
nice.
A +6 to a 2d10 die roll.
That's really nice.
Yes, that is really nice. You're gonna make friends really
my minimum
easily.
Would be 7, and that's only if I get a double 1. That's nice.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you're gonna be making.
Oh, so wait, we do D10s instead of a D20 then?
No. That's the dice roll that I roll as a GM, and it's usually a secret.
Okay.
Yeah, for reaction rolls with NPCs. So
it's strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, charisma, correct?
Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. I'm not sure if you said that order.
I changed the order. Should I determine which ability scores go where now?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, we know the 17.
Although, well, actually, I guess the first thing is determining your race. So.
All right. Can I not be a full elf? I have to be either a half elf or human.
Let me check. So, I use this.
Because if I can, I'd rather go full elf.
Yeah. I use this database called Purple Worm that has most of the AD&D 2nd edition rules in it. So I'm sending you the link right now. Excuse me, I have hiccups. I just ate a big salad.
I'm so excited.
The cool thing about Purple Worm, with it being a database rather than PDFs, is if you click on the index link, it literally alphabetizes all the headings in every one of those books.
Wow.
All the headings.
Jesus, that's a lot of blue.
Yeah, every couple of paragraphs, there's a heading in AD&D 2nd edition books. So any kind of subject you want to look up, if you know what subject you want to find, you click on index and then Control F. It's the Windows function for finding stuff. Control F for find, and then you type in whatever subject you want, like whether it's a spell or weapon proficiency or something. You type that in, hit enter, and then it'll start counting how many hits there are. And then you can scroll down to each individual hit on there with the up and down functions on the Control F. There's a little Control F window that pops up. I'm sure you've used it before. But,
yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually going to use the browse function for this. I'm going to go into the Book of Elves, and then character creation and kits, elf abilities, character creation kits, subrace, okay, elf PC kits, priest, warrior, mage, fighter, kit for any class, priest kit.
I don't see druid.
Elf PC kits. Let's see, distinctive appearance, elf subraces. What classes can they be? Variations on theme, physical attributes, mental attributes, elven society, elven mist, death of elves, elven dwellings, optional rules, level limit, expansion, extra proficiencies, archery modifications using bows as weapons.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up?
Because I didn't know this was here until you gave me this, and I see it here. Do you guys have a necromancer already?
No, actually.
Oh, Jesus God.
We used to.
If I have this... Oh, I love... Dude, I love playing really, like...
Evil?
I like playing weird characters. Yes, I do.
We...
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, we did have a necromancer, who... I think he was lawful evil. And he hid his evilness so well that one of our player characters is able to cast True Seeing 3 times per day at will. And he had the opportunity to look at the character and essentially looked at every character except for the necromancer to see their auras. And when you look at someone's aura, for example, a lawful good person has a halo around their head, right? An evil person, if they were lawful evil, they would have a black halo around their head. So this guy basically looked at every other character but the necromancer. It never occurred to him to look at the necromancer's aura. And the necromancer avoided death with that guy so many times because the character who is able to look at people's auras, as soon as he finds out someone's evil, he's supposed to utterly annihilate them, whether it costs his own life or not. It's a really strange character. But yeah, it is definitely possible to play an evil character in this campaign because a guy did it for like 6 months. He totally did it.
To be fair, it's not like it kind of leads back to like validity. Like, don't get me wrong, I love playing straight up evil characters, but I like playing characters that mesh well with the party dynamic. Like, obviously you're not like trying to ruin everything, but at the same time the character itself doesn't like being part of the party or just does things that are contrary without like pissing everybody off.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It's a weird balance.
There's actually a character in the party currently that does tend to, for lack of a better term, fuck with people in the party, because he actually he is playing essentially a madman, and so he does things sometimes that don't necessarily mesh well with the rest of the party, and they complain to him about it, and he basically shirks it off with jokes and stuff, and they eventually forgive him.
Wait, they confront the character or the player?
They confront the character.
Oh, okay.
Because he as a player is purely playing his character's alignment, and so he'll do things that are like they make you say like, what the hell, dude, really? And the party will, people in the characters in the party will say that to him sometimes because of the things that he does, and it like it causes disagreements, but at the same time drama, which is good for any kind of game really. And then he ends up basically saving face through humor.
Nice.
So he's very, very creative when stuff like that happens. I mean, there's ways of basically doing everything in D&D. You could have a chaotic evil necromancer in the same party as a lawful good paladin, and through pure, role playing and humor and basically entertaining the other players, you could pull it off.
Yeah.
You just have to be really creative, and sometimes you have to end up pulling a rabbit out of your hat, but it can be done. And I've seen a guy do it for about 6 months. He played a lawful evil necromancer in this party with basically right under the nose of essentially an angel. This guy's playing.
I'm assuming the players themselves knew he was evil, but their characters didn't.
At some point after he ended up quitting the campaign to get a weekend job or something, I told them that he was evil. I had to, because they eventually found his book of magic spells, and they found out that he was in fact a necromancer, and a bunch of the spells that he had were evil as fuck. And they found out that he really was evil as hell, and they were like, holy shit, I had no fucking idea. He role-played that character so well. Because he was playing essentially a lawful evil character who is really good at hiding the fact that he's evil. And so he only did evil stuff behind closed doors, when it was totally, outside of the view of everyone else.
Yeah.
Totally manipulative.
That's what I either want to be a druid who doesn't give a shit about everyone, or a necromancer who has their own agenda.
Yeah. It's your choice. Necromancers. Let's see, spells and magic.
I was looking at it. It says that you can be a elf for this one.
For necromancer?
For a necromancer. Yeah.
Let's see, customized.
They have a long life.
Specialist wizard. Specialist in schools of philosophy. Necromancer. Students of this school delve into forbidden lore and dark secrets in their quest to understand and control the forces of life and death. A character must be extraordinarily strong of will in order to succeed at these studies. A wizard must have a wisdom of 16 or higher in order to choose necromancy as his specialty. Wow. Necromancy is opposed by illusion and enchantment charm, so you can't learn illusion or enchantment charm spells. Necromancers gain the standard benefits for being specialist wizards. At 8th level, his or her saving throw bonus versus necromancy spells increases to a total of +2. At 11th level, the necromancer gains a special Speak with Dead spell-like ability that requires no verbal or material components. The wizard need only point at the deceased person and concentrate for 1 round. The spell functions like the 3rd level priest spell Speak with Dead, except that the necromancer may converse for up to 1 turn, which is 10 rounds, aka 10 minutes, and ask 4 questions of the spirit. At 14th level, the necromancer gains a partial resistance to the special effects of undead attacks. Although he or she still suffers the normal damage of any such attack, he or she gains a +2 to saving throws against strength drain, paralyzation, and other effects. He or she may attempt a saving throw versus death magic with a -4 penalty to avoid the effects of any attack that normally does not allow a save, such as a wight or wraith's energy drain. The necromancer commands a variety of powerful... Go ahead.
I was just going to quick ask, since I'll be coming into this campaign and everyone else is built up their spells, am I coming in as a level 1, or are you going to have me jump up a few levels?
Level 1.
Level 1?
Yes.
Beautiful. That's the best way to do it.
Okay, so the necromancer, it says, must be human and have a 16 wisdom, and the opposition schools are illusion and enchantment charm. Let's see, elves. Elves can, as far as specialist wizards go, elves can only be enchanters. Oh, and diviners or diviners. There are some that half elves can be. Half elves can be transmuters, and enchanters along with elves, and diviners along with elves, and also conjurers. Conjurers are summoners, so they specialize in summoning magic.
Oh, I don't want to be human.
And then humans can be anything, and then gnomes can be illusionists. And according to this, that's the only races that can be specialists. Specialist wizards, that is. But there's a bunch of races that can be mages, which is a general wizard.
Yeah, I would want to be a necromancer, not just a wizard.
Okay, so human it is, and you do have to have 16 wisdom.
I have that 17, so...
Yeah. And you cannot learn illusion or enchantment charm spells. And
okay, now my question is, what kind of necromancer do I want to be?
Yeah, because you can be... There's basically, you know, it's kind of split up between the morality part of the alignment. You can have good necromancers, which basically they are designed to fight against undead, and they use spells that, you know, defend against undead and detect undead creatures. And then there are neutral necromancers that they will basically do kind of everything when it comes to necromancy. Like, they'll create undead creatures and monsters and stuff, and they'll kill people outright with, you know, Finger of Death and Death Spell and stuff like that. And they'll also, you know, help other people defend against undead creatures with their, you know, detect undead and protection from negative plane stuff. And then there's evil ones that basically they just want to hurt people and kill stuff and bring it back to life and create big, like the biggest damn army of undead that you can possibly get, and like wipe out the living. It all depends on how you want to roleplay.
Looking at these kits, I can think of two different ones, and because you know, like the mix of the group. Obviously, both of them could be thrown in, but one of them could be more interesting versus the other.
Yeah.
Having an anatomist, an anatomist. How you say it?
Anonymous?
No, not anonymous. Like anatomy, but a person who studies anatomy.
Anatomically?
No, the study of the human body.
Yeah.
Anatomy.
Anatomy. Yeah.
But there is the anatomist, I guess is the thing. It says they devote their careers to scientific study of the body.
Oh, you're talking about the kits from the Complete Book of Necromancers.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Death Priests.
Because, I mean, obviously I can play it, but there's got to be, like, a goal, some reason I'm a necromancer. And I like looking at these for that.
New Necromancer Wizard Kits. Anatomist. Anatomists devote their careers to scientific study of the body, while some anatomists use their knowledge to heal. Most adopt this profession to further their own dark motives.
So I know I don't have to use these kits. I was looking at the names and they're like basic ideas to get an idea of what kind of necromancer I'd want to play.
Yeah.
I don't have to stick to this specifically if you don't want me to, or if I don't want to, kind of thing.
No, it's all good with me as long as you don't play any of the ones that are meant for non-player characters, and it will tell you if it's meant for non-player characters or not.
Well, the two I'm looking at look like they're fine. The witch and the anatomist are the one. There we go. Anatomist are the ones I'm looking at. And according to this, neither of them are no-go. The witch is played like a medium or a spirit channeler.
Is that one of the priest ones or one of the necromancer ones?
Well, the witch is the necromancer, but it says also known as a medium or a spirit channeler. It doesn't have much information on it here.
Huh. I'm not even seeing that kit. Oh, other necromancer
It's in the
kits.
other necromancer kit, yeah.
Okay. That might be one of the ones that's meant for
I
NPCs.
can't do.
Let's see. Go Lord.
Yeah, it looks like it's inspiration for DMs. Never mind, no witch it
Yeah.
is. Alright, so I think I'm going to base this character off. I know this is gonna be a weird question. But did you ever read Harry Potter fanfic?
No. No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well then, just know I'm taking inspiration from one of the best stories in there I've read, where Harry Potter turns into this character called the Nightmare Lord, who's just absurdly fascinated with how he can contort the human body and fuck with it. And still keep it alive.
Nice.
It's really well compelling. It's very compelling read. Like, I was surprised. I never expected I'd like a Harry Potter evil character, but it was so well done as a story. I still think they should do it as their own story, not the Harry Potter. But yeah, so if throwing this at you, if you don't like it, I can change it. Basically, is not like particularly obsessed with death in itself, but just on seeing how far the body can be pushed without dying is
right.
Like the basic where this all started kind of thing. And then the character discovered that if with necromancy powers, he could mess with bodies and keep them alive even if they died. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it has the ability to potentially heal because it understands the body, but is more willing to stuff its hands down a dead body's stomach to try and revive it than heal somebody who's dying nearby.
Right.
Does that make sense? Does that sound good or no? Should I change it again? Which is cool.
Normally, excuse me. Normally, wizards don't have the ability to heal unless they create healing potions.
Well, the only reason I brought up healing is because this one specifically says some anatomists use their specialized skills for the good of humanity, serving as skilled physicians and healers.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it doesn't...
obviously, like, prefers spells that directly affect physical body, either before or after death.
Oh, it says non-weapon proficiencies required healing. This takes up 2 slots only and anatomy. So essentially you get a one-time only crossover with the priest proficiency group just for the healing proficiency. So that's how you would heal people. You're essentially a physician. It makes you a physician, pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm a fucked up one. That's the idea.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And you actually can use this to literally heal people. It takes 1 round, and you roll a proficiency check, and if you succeed, then you heal a person for 1d3 health, and it can only be performed on that person or each person once per day by each healer. So another healer could come along and do the same thing to the same person, but you wouldn't be able to do it until the following day.
That's fine. I'll be honest though, I'm looking at it, I like this autopsy because I feel like my character would do an autopsy on all dead bodies it finds, regardless of whether it's necessary or not.
Yeah. Another useful skill is the ability to divine the cause of time of death by thoroughly examining a corpse. This involves a careful dissection taking 1 to 6 turns. Wow, -1 round per level. The wizard has a base 60% chance plus 2% per level of learning a specific reason and approximate time of death, 90% maximum. 1 roll required for each.
Are we looking at the same thing? I don't see this -1 per level thing you just said.
It's so second sentence, it says under autopsy, it says this involves a careful dissection taking 1 to 6 turns, -1 round per level.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Yes, never mind. I saw it. Yeah.
And then
But the
was it?
special hindrances is I have to regularly practice. So definitely, like, sees a dead body, we're not in combat. Oh, I wonder what happened to them. Let's find
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Yep. The accuracy of the estimated moment of death decreases with elapsed time since the actual event. Huh.
This sounds fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then improved healing anatomists make excellent doctors, gaining a +2 on their ability checks for the healing non-weapon proficiency. Wow. Patients resting under their care, and you have to have a 16 wisdom, and wisdom is the stat you use for healing checks. So healing ability checks. So
Basically, I'm a super healer
yeah,
when I want to use it.
you're like the ultimate healer. You could go around, yeah, bandaging people up with like
It says I can.
weird.
A single anatomist can care up to 12 people in this fashion.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people.
yeah, that's more than twice the normal amount. Usually, a physician can only treat. Actually, I think that's exactly twice the normal amount. When treating poisons or diseases, even those of magical origin, their patients are entitled to a second saving throw with a +4 bonus to resist the affliction. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, can I play this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
This sounds awesome.
Of course. Of course. I'm glad that you are so interested in it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually looking for a real token for you. I actually kind of found a Harry Potter-esque.
I think I'm actually gonna go with a female character.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
There's got to be a nice creepy. Do you want to go for like an Elvira look or anything like that? Anything like gothic or?
Actually, I kind of want it to be like unassuming. Like you would never think that this girl would put her hands in a dead body, but
Okay.
she gets pleasure of it. But darker. If you're looking for like color palettes, dark would probably be better because she doesn't want to replace it.
Okay. Let's see. How about transparent?
And I think I'm gonna do a neutral base character rather than straight up evil. I think
Okay.
she just is fascinated with death and bodies and things like that. Like she doesn't give a wit's ass who's in charge or what's doing what. She just wants to know more about anybody else about the processes of death.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep. Yep. Let's see. I'm looking for. Let's see. There was a character in Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X. I can't remember her name. Or was it 9? I think it was 10. Final Fantasy X Wikipedia. Plot. Setting and characters. Lulu might have been the right one. Older sister figure of before becoming one of you. Let's see, Final Fantasy X, Lulu. Final Fantasy X, Lulu.
Wait, are they like figure models from like games and things like that?
I'm trying to look for one. Let's see. I think this is the right character. Let's see. Transparent Lulu GIF. fantasy. Let's try that. Fantasy. Hmm. These are all so side view. Hmm.
You trying to find something above you?
Yeah, it's really hard to find animated tokens that are top view. They almost don't exist.
Because
Well,
all these
animated
characters, I
ones.
don't see any of them moving. Are they supposed to be moving?
No. They actually just added this
As a feature?
functionality. Yeah, it's a brand new feature. It just came out on like maybe it was this week. I don't remember. It's been a long couple of weeks for me. I want to say like maybe Monday or Tuesday. I honestly don't remember if it was last week or this week.
Well, that's brand new.
Yeah. And I've been doing a few of the monsters that are in the area where everyone is at. But I haven't started doing player characters yet, and I want yours to be the first because you're the newest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh my god.
So,
Gotta stop my cat. Hold on.
Okay.
Cat, don't do that. Nuh-uh. No. That is my blanket. Get off of it. Off.
let's
Jesus.
see.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's fine.
Nuh-uh.
How about nope, no Elvira gifts or gifs. Wow.
BB?
Huh?
No, sorry, talking to the cat still. He's going back after the blanket. Stop. Favorite blanket? I don't even want to know what you do with it, and I'm gonna.
Let's see. Yeah, it's so hard to find animated tokens that are not side view. They're really rare.
Side note, while you're doing that, I'm gonna divvy out my points onto my character sheet.
Yeah, yep. And you can also do your like alignment and you can roll your height and weight if you keep your token selected. In chat, there's that character creation template, and
should I just get the height weight thing?
Yeah, the magenta button or the magenta rectangle is actually a button that you can click in chat, and it will roll height, weight, and age. And then if you find human female, they actually have slightly different weight and height for females. So
Okay. It looks like I am 47 inches. So what is that? Like 5 foot or 6'2"? Jesus, I'm tall.
47 inches?
Yeah.
74 inches. Okay, yes. You
Did I
are
say 47?
You are 6'2".
I am Jesus tall.
Yes, and you weigh 147 pounds, so you're rail thin at 6'2". 17 years
Yeah.
old.
And I'm
max
only
age
17.
90. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. Starting age for humans is pretty young. It's like D4, or it's 15 plus 1D4 years. So anywhere from 16 to 19.
Alright, what was I doing? I was divvying up. Right. So,
Let's see. How about just transparent necromancer GIF? I'm gonna try that. Necromancer.
she.
And then when the party asks you, "Hey, what do?" You could just be like, "I'm a wizard." Ah.
I think, well, because I would probably use the whole fact that I'm a physician. Like, I'd heal people, because then
Oh.
people would be like, oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm a doctor.
'Cause
Trust
then-
me, I'm a doctor.
Well, they wouldn't know I'm a necromancer
I know.
because I can heal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It would probably really trip them out. Like, they'd probably think you were a priest or something because you're using the healing proficiency.
Hee hee hee.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
I'm a really good one, too.
Yeah.
Alright, so that needed to be wisdom was my 17, right?
Yes, ma'am. And then your intelligence, I think, has to be like 9 or higher to be a wizard of any kind, and that's pretty much it. It might be 10 or higher, but and then the higher your intelligence, the better, because it's easier for you to learn spells that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's a wisdom of 16, not intelligence.
yeah, but you rolled a 17 though, so you're gonna be
sorry, yeah. No wisdom.
super doctor with that.
Minimum intelligence of 9. But yeah, I'll give that one to my. Obviously, I have to give that one. Question is, what am I going to give that 7 to? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it all comes down to, do you want to be socially inept? Do you want to be a weakling? Or do you want to be clumsy? Or do you want to be, like, kind of unhealthy? Like, maybe kind of sickly?
I think I'm going to be weak because I only deal with dead bodies, so I don't need strength for that.
Yeah.
I don't need to fight anything. I just kind of deal with things already dead.
And eventually you'll have a bunch of spells you'll cast.
Let's see.
Let's see. I gotta give you
It's gonna be.
I gotta give you a spell book too. Okay.
I think I'm gonna give myself a charisma of 12 because that's the only way I can deal with the fact that I deal like that's the reason why nobody has killed me yet.
Ah.
Like that's how I've survived digging through dead bodies without somebody finding me and killing me instantly.
Yeah.
Which means I am not very. Alright, this is gonna be fun. Alright, so that's all the stats over there.
8, 8, and 7. Wow, yeah. That 7 in strength only gives you a -1 to hit. Oh, wow, your weight allowance is 20 pounds. That's gonna be rough.
That's good or bad? Oh, bad?
I mean, you probably won't end up carrying very many weapons. So...
The question is if I want to carry dead bodies back to my lab.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna have trouble.
Help me.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what all my minions are gonna be. My minions are just gonna be carrying my shit.
Exactly. Okay, and then did you plug in your height, weight, and... Oh, you're gonna be level 1, race human, alignment, what, like true neutral or lawful neutral, chaotic neutral? And then your kit is anatomist, and your class is mage. Or, well, specialist wizard, actually. you could just say your class is necromancer. That would be very
But wouldn't
understandable.
that give it away?
No, because the other characters can't read
See
the
it?
character sheet tab on your character sheet. They can only read your bio.
Okay. Now what class would I be? I would be wizard or
Your
Oh,
class
right.
would be necromancer, and
Oh.
then your kit would be anatomist.
right.
And then
I'll
this
race
would be
human,
12.
unfortunately. So it's been a while since I've played. I think I'm just brain dead today. Chaotic means that that I have no moral code. Lawful just means I do have a moral code, right? Or
No.
is that good and evil? That's good and evil.
That's good and evil. Yeah, and then law and chaos is more of your views of society. Like, do you
Then yeah, I'm gonna just be solid neutral.
Yeah, would you do what you were told if you had to, or would you just go off and do your own thing and get pissed off when people try to, push you around, as they say?
I'm gonna go with neutral because I feel like my character, if she felt like her life was in danger, would pretend to follow along with everything.
Yeah.
So she's not like straight up, I won't follow the rules. But nonetheless, like, if she doesn't have to, she's not going to.
Yeah.
Do I have an HP of 4? Oh, that hurts my soul. Alright.
And you start with 0 XP. Yeah, everyone in this campaign starts with a full hit die at level 1. So, wizards, their hit dice are D4s. So at level 1 you have 1d4
I
hit
did really
points.
well.
Yeah, you always, that's a house rule for this campaign. You always start with a full hit die. So just...
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, be really, really careful at level 1, because it's dangerous for a wizard. Let's see.
I'm really glad I didn't do the Constitution out as a 7.
Yeah, that might have given you a -1 to your health for every level. Okay. And then next is... I guess I'll do your token later. Next thing, excuse me, is your proficiencies. So if you scroll down just beyond rogue skills, where it says weapon proficiencies, your...
I get a knife.
Oh, is that what it said you always get?
Yeah, necromancers, let's see. Standing necromancer.
The anatomist is a mistress of small edged or cutting weapons. Though this wizard rarely practices such skills on the living, the anatomist's first weapon is a knife, with which she or he automatically gains specialization at 6th level as a special benefit. Wow, this fills the 2nd weapon slot. Nice. This skill entitles a wizard to multiple attacks and the customary +1 to hit and +2 on damage bonuses. Usually only fighters get that, but you're just so good with a knife because you're constantly cutting up bodies that wow, that's awesome. After specializing in the knife, the wizard may learn either the dagger, dart, cutlass, or short sword. So basically, you don't choose another weapon until you're level 9. No.
Yeah.
No.
6.
Yeah. No, it says this fills the 2nd weapon slot when you specialize. So not till you're level like 13 do you get another weapon proficiency. Yeah.
Right, it says after specializing, I can choose another one. And I specialize at 6.
Well, then it says in proficiency, or in parentheses, it says this fills the 2nd weapon slot. That's when you would normally get a 2nd weapon slot, is at 6th level.
Okay.
It says, yeah, after specializing in the knife, the wizard may learn either the dagger, dart, cutlass, or short sword. What they don't say is that doesn't come along until level 13 or level 12. Sorry, it's at level 12. So yeah, at level 12 you could choose either dagger, dart, cutlass, or short sword. But that's cool that you can specialize with the knife as a freaking wizard. That's awesome. I think you can throw knives in this version of the game too. I think you can throw 2 per round.
I don't know if I have the strength to do anything at a distance though.
Well, the thing about strength is well, yeah, whenever you throw something, you still have that -1 to hit, but you have that in melee range as well.
That's true.
But
I'm gonna be aiming for eyeballs.
Yeah, aim for eyeballs. You're still gonna have that even if you throw a knife. You're still gonna have that -1 to hit from low strength, but eventually at level 6, when you get that +1 to hit from specialization, that will be negated. It won't go away, but it'll be negated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So at level 1, you have to choose knife. And then non-weapon proficiencies, it says required is healing. This takes up 2 slots only, and anatomy.
So when it says take up 2 slots, do I have to write it twice?
No. What you would put is healing space 2 to show that it takes 2 slots, and then right here I'm gonna put some special coding. Whoops. Yeah. Put some special coding right here for whiz.
How many proficiencies do I get?
Okay. So
in addition to this?
Wizards get, I'm going to look it up right now. Player's handbook, tables, proficiency slots. Wizards get 4 initial slots, and they get a new one every level that's divisible by 3. So at level 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Plus, everyone gets, if you look at your intelligence line, where it says number of languages, 3,
Yeah.
that's bonus proficiency slots at level 1 only. So you have your 4 from being a wizard and an extra 3 from intelligence. However, one caveat to that is any languages that you can speak, you must purchase with those number of languages proficiency slots. And each language costs 1 proficiency slot per language. So if you want to be able to speak like the common tongue, you have to purchase it now, and that takes up one of your,
Wait, so basically I could be a non-speaking thing and have all those extras?
Yes, you could be dumb.
I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be fun. But it's a funny mechanic to think of it. Like, I just can't speak anything.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at everything.
Right.
Alright, so I'll definitely take common. Should I put it down here in non-weapon proficiencies or no?
Yes, ma'am. And I guess the proper term would be modern common space 1. And I believe that's an intelligence check. But I'll never, ever make you roll to speak. That would be... Unless it was like something... unless maybe you were like under the influence of drugs or something that made you mute or something, and
yeah.
Okay, uncommon 1. And then any other well, so normally humans are only able to speak modern common, but in this campaign you would likely be from a place called the city-state of Gronar, which has affiliation with elves. like in the neighboring forest, there's a race of elves, and
All right.
so some of the people from Gronar are able to speak Elvish as well when they first started venturing.
Okay.
And then also there's some half elves that live in the city, so you could have learned, Elvish from one of them. So the language would be called Modern Elvish 1, and it would cost 1 slot, of course.
No, I think I'm gonna keep it so I can get more proficiencies and other things.
Yeah.
Side note, I just
there's-
discovered something that that will break my computer.
What's that?
I can't search for something in the purple worm index with the thing up.
With the game running?
Yep.
Have you
much
tried?
for it.
Have you tried opening the purple worm in not only a different tab but a different window? A second window.
I could open it in a different browser even.
Yeah, that might
I'm
possibly
gonna have to
help.
reload into Roll20 again. That was fun. I gotta restore the page. I'm gonna get rid of this. We'll come
Let's
back
see.
to it.
I really want to find a token for you that's animated, but if I can't, I think for now I will just find a. Oh, what's your character gonna wear? Usually, wizards don't wear armor or anything. Is she like, is she a gown type of person, or pants, or shorts, or it's winter time right now in the campaign. Like it's the end of December, super cold.
I think. What would she wear?
It's the 26th of December right now.
Alright, well hold on. I gotta decide what her background is, because if she was raised in like a proper household, she'd wear a dress.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Are you
she
gonna
was raised
Are you
in
gonna
a butcher household.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna stick with that lower class social rank?
I think a butcher should be in that, right?
Let's see. Beggars, herdsmen, peddlers, actors, men-at-arms, manual laborers, tradesmen, money changers, fishermen, petty officers, freemen, peasants, messengers. Yeah, I guess you could, tradesmen could be butchers.
Wait, so that's my thing is that level, or would that be like where I come from?
That's like your parents and their
Okay.
siblings and stuff could be tradesmen.
So
Butchers or
my
whatever.
father was a butcher, my mother was a actress. And my father and his chopping up the meat is what made me so fascinated with death things.
Yeah. Nice.
That's why I went with butcher. After much argument as a child, my father finally agreed to let me help him at first just work in the store and then eventually to cut the meat myself. No, because why would I have the healing? That doesn't give me healing. Okay.
Maybe you had a
We're gonna
mentor?
stick with the father. Stick with the father. But my mother worked in an. Sorry, mine's still loading up. Could you read me the list of things it says?
The rest of what?
The. There we go. Never mind. It loaded up. Let's see. Social rank. Freed slaves. Vagabonds. My mother fell in love with my father, but was a maid in a household where she worked as a wet nurse.
Huh.
Nope, I don't like that either. I want to keep the butcher because it's such a great way for me to have the fascination with cutting
Yeah.
flesh. But where will I get the healing? Because I'm only 17. It's not like I'm really old, and I'm a female, so I wouldn't have been able. Well, what like time period is this set in?
It is like just before the Renaissance, so guns
Yeah, that's
were
what I figured.
just guns were just invented, and they're actually pretty common in this part of the world, but they haven't gone to other places yet. And uh, democracy is starting to take hold here. Like there's
Okay.
so far the city-state of Gronar is actually a democracy. It's the first one in the world, and it's rather successful because of the way it's run. And then the other kingdoms around it are starting to kind of fall apart because knights aren't so scary anymore when you can shoot through their armor. And
Yeah.
so it's people who have money, rather than the loyalty of soldiers are the ones that are that are kind of taking over. And so there's mercenary companies popping up that use all firearms, and they don't really have anything to fear from dudes in full plate with long swords and shields anymore. So they can kind of do what they want. So there's a little bit of crime that has popped up because of it, and then also a lot more democratic freedom, the death of the monarchy and things like that. So that's what's going on, at least in this part of the world.
All right. I got it. So, I figured it out.
What's up?
I'm getting to my clothing soon, I swear. I was fascinated with my father as a butcher, and finally convinced him to let me help him in the shop. We didn't tell my mother. Well, she knew I was helping, but she didn't know what I was doing. And then one day she found me actually cutting the meat and having bloody hands, and she was horrified. So she actually sent me to work with a nearby, I guess, either a witch or a physician, which is where I learned my training about healing.
There's actually a
That work?
physician in Gronar, so yeah, that's perfect.
Right, so she, to make me more of a proper woman than somebody chopping up meat in a store, sent me
Yeah.
to go get training there.
Yeah.
And
She realized that you were like
question is-
a fucked up kid and wanted to make something of you rather than
let me cut meat for the rest of my life.
yeah.
I think now the question is, are they alive or not?
Oh, your parents?
Yeah.
Completely up to you. Maybe you murdered them and chopped them up. If you want to be really sick with it, or maybe
Well, you said, how long has this cold been going on?
cold.
Yeah. Has this been just a sudden winter, or has it been long going?
It's just been since November that it's been snowy. So it's a regular season cycle. It's not like Game of Thrones or anything where there's 5 years of summer and then 5 years of winter or whatever.
And is this trip of adventurers leaving this town, or are they staying in near it?
So they actually left it a couple of weeks ago, and they went to one of the when it was a monarchy before, there used to be lords, and
Okay.
the High Lord Justice had a castle out on the plains to the south of the town, and they heard about monsters there, and they went there and found out that monsters were coming up from the Great Below, which is my version of the Underdark. And so they fought their way through the dungeon and found the way down to the Great Below. And on the way down, they ran into a wizard in the dungeon who said that the drow, one of the drow matron mothers, was trying to take over a city in the Great Below by using an alliance with Illithids to take control of Tarask by using psionics. And the wizard told everyone, you can't control the Tarask. It's uncontrollable. It's impossible. And so the party kind of freaked out, and they were like, well, what happens if they awaken this Tarask from its slumber and they can't control it? Is it gonna destroy the world or what? And so they're trying to intercept this matron mother before she is able to either before she's able to awaken the Tarask, or and then if they fail and wait too long, then they might have to go find the Tarask and slay it or whatever, or they could they could basically do nothing and let her carry out her plan. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things they could do, but it all depends on
But
what they do when
basically,
they get to
they
the
left.
dungeon.
They left the town and showed no indication of coming back to the town. Yes.
No, they did. They left all
Oh,
their they left a bunch of their mounts there, and like a couple hirelings, and yeah, they fully intend on going back. So.
Okay. They're
Like,
dead, by the way, my parents.
oh, they are. Okay. Are you?
think
Hopefully, you're writing
what
this
I'm-
down in the bio section.
No, not yet. I should
Oh,
do that though.
Yeah, if you click on the edit button, you can write this stuff down in the bio section. It's just if there's any secrets that you don't
Secrets?
want the other players knowing, don't write it in your bio. So
Yeah,
like maybe
I
the
will
fact that you're a
write it in
necromancer.
personal notes.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is my father's business failed recently,
Yeah.
and he and my mother have been struggling to get by, including me.
What is it?
And then they got sick
Oh.
because of the cold. Are you still with me, or is something wrong? Yep.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
My fiance just handed me a chocolate-covered strawberry, a giant one.
Ooh, how exciting!
Yeah.
Wish you could hand one to me through the computer, but it's,
Yeah.
alas, that can't be possible. Okay, so the business failed, and
The butcher
because
shop.
yes,
Okay.
because this has just been a particularly hard year for our family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with the the ruling class change system has fucked with our system, because there's always economic
Yeah.
downsides to that,
Yeah.
and we were a casualty of that. And so we have been struggling to get by. I've been working with the physician to earn money my way. My mother has been helping with the actresses her way, but it's still not enough. So my mother, I'm gonna really make this. Sorry, I like building really complicated backstories, so
Yeah.
I can build off of it. My
I already
mother,
have an
being
idea.
in the
So
actress field. Oh, go ahead.
there's actually a character in the city that kind of takes like a Godfather-esque sort of role. He's called the Boss, and he's
Okay.
he's basically the organized crime leader, but he doesn't have a direct hand in it. He just uses
Okay.
other people. So he's kind of
Other
like
people.
he's kind of like a cross between Charles Manson and and the Godfather. He uses other people to basically do his dirty work. So he's completely clean, right? It's other people
Right.
that are close to him that run the crooked, like, Better Business Bureau. It's called the Guild. And so maybe your dad wasn't, paying his tribute to keep his business, above water or whatever, and they weren't getting enough, of their cut of his profits or whatever, and they shut him down, like, politically, by saying, like, oh,
Yeah.
your meat's not up to standard because we're the Better Business, we're the Guild, and everyone else's meat is better quality, and your steaks are too thin, things like that. And maybe they shut him down that way.
Now,
So-
okay, so building off that,
Yeah. There's
in
a
an
little-
effort to earn money so my family didn't die,
You started adventuring?
No,
Oh.
not yet. My parents got to die first.
Oh,
My
okay.
mother approached the crime. What was his name?
The boss.
mean,
They call
just
him
the
the
boss,
boss.
okay.
He has a name. It's let's see. I have to actually open his character sheet.
Okay, so well, she doesn't approach him directly because nobody knows it's him. Well, they know it's him, but they don't approach him.
Yeah.
She approached the organization to see if there's some way to earn money, and they told her prostitution.
Oh.
And she ended up getting a sickness from this, which she gave to my father because they were still in love and just dealing with it,
Ooh, disease.
and started to waste away.
Yeah.
At first, I tried to use my abilities as a physician assistant to help them, but the physician said there was nothing he could do. And my fondness for them was overwhelmed by my fascination for what was happening to their bodies as they died, which fucked me up a little bit, a lot of it.
Right. Yeah.
And I was their only child, so they passed away kind of recently.
Okay, so his name is Lucchese
Okay.
Gambino. Lucchese Gambino.
All right.
But everyone knows him as the boss.
Okay. So alright, so I'm trying to decide how fucked up my character went. So on one hand, she was fascinated with the way their bodies died. When they died, she moved on.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, she was fascinated with them until they died, and then when they died, she was curious what the sickness did to their No, she did this. She was curious what the sickness had done to them, and
Yeah.
actually did her
First
first
autopsy?
autopsy by herself
Wow.
on her own parents, out of curiosity. And when she was finished, not like in a regretful sort of way, she just realized that the neighbors would not be so accepting of what she'd done to her own parents.
Yeah.
So she sewed them back up and put clothes on them and convinced everyone to bury them. Or how do they get rid of their dead here? Bury or burn?
They, both. It's like it's basically like Little Italy in New York.
Okay, so she convinces them to burn the bodies so that nobody will know what she did to her own parents. Oh, and it didn't work. But what if she tried to do necromancy on her parents to bring them back to see what would happen?
Oh, hey.
And that's where she starts getting necromantic about it.
Huh.
Because she felt some regret. Not for what she did to her parents, but for the fact that other people wouldn't accept it. So she tried to bring them back to try and prove. Oh, and what if it even worked a little bit, but it freaked her out so much to see her mother and father walking around badly, like she didn't do a good job of it, that she burned them. And now she's using her grief and her slight fear of everything to cut ties with everybody she knows in the city.
Wow.
Ooh, I like it.
That's
Okay,
that's
the
there you
story.
go.
All right, so in answer to your question, she's going to be wearing pants.
Pants. Okay.
Because despite when her mother died, she finally embraced the fact that I think she's going to be, like, she's physically female, but I don't think she sees people as, she doesn't really care about gender
Right.
as a thing. So to her, it doesn't matter whether skirts are just unwieldy things and not as warm as pants, stuffed with the clothing of her parents. Oh, she wouldn't do that. That would be... Right, so Butcher Father and actress. I'm gonna write all this down in my private notes.
The parts you want to be kept secret need to be in your private notes. The parts that you would tell other people.
I'm gonna type all of this down in secret and then do the basic, what she's telling them story in the bio.
Yeah. Yep.
But yes, pants. If if you find something really awesome that has a dress, she would wear a dress because she spent like the past 5 years wearing a dress. She's not opposed to them.
Yeah.
She just prefers pants if given the choice. So don't feel like pants or skirt is limiting your marker. Anyways, let me start. Could you know at that time sicknesses were spreading around between prostitutes and everything else?
Yeah. I think it's in AD&D First Edition. Sleeping with what was their word? With a courtesan. Is it has like it yields a 6% chance of giving you a disease. And the diseases in First Edition are really complicated. So complicated.
Yeah, well, I don't have that disease, so don't even worry about that.
Right.
But it is a thing, so that's good.
Yeah. I think there's a bunch of these are people's characters off of Second Life or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of them look like Second Life characters, but most of them are from the side view, so it's really difficult.
Is that alright that she did necromancy already?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as she didn't, kill anyone with necromancy or defeat monsters or anything like that, because you have literally zero experience points. So.
Yeah. All right. So I will say it was kind of a fluke. She tried it. It worked. Not great because she doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But it was more out of extreme fear of local reprisal than actual skill.
Right.
Right. She had done. I'm gonna think they became more like ghouls than anything else, rather than actual zombies. Or no, I'm gonna go with they became soulless husks. Like they stood, they breathed, they walked, but they had no energy to them, and that's what freaked her out.
Basically like zombies.
But even less so, because zombies can still have some sort of inner function to them. Like they want to eat, they want to kill something.
Oh,
There's just nothing.
Yeah.
Their bodies were alive, but she didn't know how to give them a will or something that they want, so they just did nothing. And then she released the magic, and then because they decomposed slightly because she tried that for a few weeks. So that's why she had to burn them. So nobody could see how far they decomposed before she told people they were dead.
Right.
All right, so how is she going to join the party from where they are now, or am I gonna wait until they finish this quest? Both of which are fine.
So I guess you could have found out from your wizardy mentor, because wizards are kind of unique in that it takes one wizard to teach another how to be a wizard. So you usually have an NPC who was at one point your teacher that taught you how to read read magic and detect magic and stuff like that. So,
Oh, quick question.
yeah, what's up?
Your physician, are they important, or can I change who they are slightly? Like, they're still a physician.
I will totally give you a whole other character sheet if you want. Please create an NPC for me.
All right, well, basically what I'm thinking is, what if this is another anatomist in secret? And so,
Yeah.
like, never actually train me to be anatomist, but that's why I have all the same skills rather than the other skills a true physician would have.
Yeah.
And the book of necromancy I found, and he was just starting to teach me before all this shit went down. So, like, I was a physician assistant for, like, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 years before I discovered the book. So I'm still learning the magic, and that's part of the reason why it worked, but it didn't work.
Okay.
With the parent.
So I'll give you a whole other character sheet for your mentor. Let's see.
Into it.
Character sheet.
Wait, physicians and healers, are they typically wizards or are they clerics? I thought they were more cleric.
Typically, only, well, priest and classes that have a proficiency crossover with priest can get the healing proficiency. Normally.
Okay, so how do we explain that I'm a wizard who can do healing?
Well,
without giving away the game.
It's because, well, you can just say, oh, well, I just have, okay, so every class has the ability to pay for a crossover by spending an extra slot on a proficiency with, in groups you don't have a crossover with. So, everyone can just think that you spent 3 slots on healing. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Do we have a healer in the party?
There are several characters in the party that have the healing proficiency.
Okay. Well, then if they ask why I did that, despite knowing that they're quote-unquote healer, not quote-unquote, that despite knowing quote-unquote that there were healers, what if I had, like, what if I, like, went on a tangent and told you this whole story before you ever mentioned that they had healers in the party and I didn't want to give it up? If they ask you, like, player to GM kind of thing.
Can you repeat the question?
Sorry. I'm just getting so excited. Because I really don't want to give up the necromancy game until it's, like, I want to keep it a secret as long as possible.
Yeah.
And characters who know the game, like, there have to be, like, so why would I get healing if there's other healing?
Well, I guess you could just tell them that you're a mage, and that you picked up the healing proficiency using 3 slots. You know, you could just. I mean, if they ask you about, like, oh, mechanically, how does that work? They're actually not supposed to ask. They're actually not supposed to ask mechanical questions because it's called metagaming. It's a question. Yeah. It's a question about the game, basically, and they know they're not supposed to metagame.
Okay, well, then in that case, if they ask, I'll be like, I don't want to metagame, hun.
Yeah, or you could just lie and say, yeah, I'm a mage and I spent 3 slots on healing. And they'll probably believe you. If you don't feel comfortable, lying, yeah, you could go that route.
I think to make it a lie but not a lie, to make them assume, be like, I was working on things that I wanted and I just always wanted to play a healing character, which is true.
Yeah.
And then they can assume I paid those 3 slots.
Yeah.
Alright, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so, where were we? I was doing mentor, right. I don't even, finding him. Oh, I can't edit this, by the way.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Mentor. Edit. Marley. Save changes.
Thank you. Actually, and now I have character sheet and ability attributes.
Actually, I'm going to make it so it's only in your journal, too. And not theirs yet, because I haven't quite introduced any healer NP. Actually, yeah, I did. His name, let's see, I'm going to look up his name right now. I think I just put it
Side
on
note,
a
I
token.
still can't edit the bio and info. I can edit the character sheet and the ability and attributes, but not the bio.
Go ahead and close the character sheet and then open it again and then see what happens. It should...
Where do I find it?
Oh, it should be right below your character sheet in
Found it.
The journal tab.
I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Alright, so his birthday is unknown. Didn't care.
Yeah, you don't have to put in stats or anything, just basically just a picture and, you know, fill out his bio, his or her.
Things that I need to remember for me.
I do think that the NPC was a male. I'm
going to stick with the male because I have a pretty good idea.
I guess it doesn't have to be male.
No,
it's Dr.
I like it being...
Yeah, it's Dr. Philip, but there could be another doctor in his shop. I named him after Dr. Phil. I named him Dr. Philip. But there could be there could be multiple doctors in the same shop. Like Dr. Philip could be the assistant of your mentor.
Okay. And this is just for me and you, right?
So far, yeah. Eventually, I might introduce the character to the other, or the NPC to the other players.
Okay.
Maybe. If there's any meaningful interaction,
yeah. Okay, so I can do this while we're still in chat if you want, but I don't need to at this point.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about anything else or go do something else. I know what it's like 10:30 in your time? 11:30?
11:30. I would like to at least finish your proficiencies. That way the only thing that way the only thing we have left is your money and equipment. After
right,
that.
so I decided
and your spell
what
book.
did I do?
So I'm gonna give you a spell book right now.
So because
traveling spell
I am not
edit.
Oh Jesus, don't do it.
Duplicate. Close.
D&D. Alright. Necromancer.
I'm also giving you a spell book.
Thing. Anatomist. Alright, so we said 7, right? 7 slots. 3 for my intelligence plus the 4 for being a wizard, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so I have 4 covered, I get 3 more.
Oh, what is your character's name?
I haven't decided yet. That's the problem. I hate naming characters.
Okay. Whatever it is, I will put it onto your book as well.
Okay. Go with...
And you can change the picture on this book too if you don't like the picture I have on here. But this is what the traveling spellbook handout looks like. We'll go over your spells together.
Okay.
And you always have read magic and detect magic, so those are going to be your first 2 spells.
Okay.
But don't bother doing that yet. We'll do that together like some other time. So our next session
We're
is
gonna go with vanilla, by the way.
vanilla.
Oh, okay, I see. Vanilla, short, goes by Fen.
Okay. Could you put that on your character sheet and hit enter for me, and I'll see how to spell it.
Oh, I changed my spell book first because it was in front.
Oh, okay.
Changing it now.
Oh, okay, Fenella. Okay, gotcha.
What did I do? What did I do? Oh, that scared the bejeebers out of me.
Oh,
Often goes by Fen.
okay. Fen.
Why?
Oh, that's cool.
Fen,
I like
okay?
it. I like it.
Okay. I like to think of my own unique, not actual names for everything.
Right.
Okay, so it recommends animal handling, animal training, artistic ability, brewing, animal lore, hunting, snares, disguise, forgery, local history, herbalism, reading, writing, spellcraft,
Oh my.
venom handling. Those are the recommended.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with reading and writing. I do have a spell book. I should probably read and write in it. Reading and writing. Okay. 2 more. Probably herbalism. I probably learned it when I was training.
Yep. And herbalism actually gives you a bonus to healing as well. It gives you a +1.
Wait. I'm gonna be super healer
Yep.
and secretly tear apart the bodies of the people I don't want to live. Alright, so one more. Alright, see, here's the thing: is I want to do like animal handling because as a player, I like that, but my character would never have gotten that. So I'm trying to stick to the thing. Should I get? I'm debating between spellcraft, which she would have just started learning, or venom handling, which is something she could have run into more often as a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Help her.
I'm not exactly sure what venom handling does. Is the description of it in that book? There's got to be a proficiency
Not on this
chapter.
page.
Okay.
But it did say earlier.
Usually the use of venoms, unless it's a paralytic venom or a sleep venom, is evil.
I was thinking more like on a healing side rather than actually venoming,
right,
poisoning other players.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different. I'm gonna say no venom handling then. So do I want spellcraft? What does spellcraft actually do?
Spellcraft is actually really cool. It allows you to roll a check to know what spell someone is casting if you can see them or hear them cast it. And then also, anytime there is some kind of check having something to do with arcane knowledge, like knowledge of spells or wizard magic in general, I allow a spellcraft roll.
So here's the thing. While that sounds amazing, I don't think she would have that. She just started learning. She wouldn't be able to know shit about it.
Yeah.
What does artistic ability do?
So depends on what artistic ability you take. It can give you certain bonuses in other proficiencies. But
so I need to find artistic.
Yeah, there's I think there's sculpting, sketching, painting. What else was there? Carving. And it's like, stone carving or wood carving, clay sculpting or whatever. And sketching, painting. There might even be poetry, but you would have to have you would probably have to have reading and writing in one of the languages to do poetry, which is kind of self-defeating because you're spending a slot to be a good poet. So
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is that since my mother was an actress, I could do that with something my mother taught me.
Acting might be one of the artistic abilities. Let me check. Let's see.
But the question about that is whether that would also affect my ability to deceive others. And I'm not sure if that would be one spot or two.
Let's see. Proficiency. So the only real ability to deceive others in second edition is either by just having a super high charisma and you can, just basically get NPCs to do what you want. Or, and then there's also the disguise skill, or disguise proficiency, which is a rogue proficiency, and that
which
allows
is
you
also
to mislead.
recommended.
Really, disguise?
Is a recommended one, yeah.
Wow. Let's see.
Oh, why don't I go with that then? So I was never good at acting, but I could help my mother dress up for her roles, which taught me how to disguise.
Okay, player characters with artistic ability are naturally accomplished in various forms of the arts. They have an inherent understanding of color, form, space, flow, tone, pitch, and rhythm. Characters with artistic ability must select one art form, painting, sculpture, composition, etc., to be proficient in. Thereafter, they can attempt to create artworks or musical compositions in the given field. Although it is not necessary to make a proficiency check, one can be made to determine the quality of the work. If a 1 is rolled on a check, yada yada yada. Artistic ability
Yeah, I
also.
think I'm gonna go with
artistic
disguise.
ability. Artistic ability also confers a +1 bonus to all proficiency checks requiring artistic skill, music or dance, and attempts to appraise objects of art. So if you were a rogue that had appraisal, if you had one of the artistic abilities, it would give you a +1 bonus to appraise objects of art only. So disguise.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with disguise.
Nice. Disguise might be, let's see. Disguise might be one of those ones that's more than one slot. Let's see. Oh, nope. Disguise is 1, and the check is charisma -1.
Well,
But you do have a decent charisma from what I recall.
disguising was never my favorite thing, but it's something I can do.
Yeah. And the cool thing about disguise is there's like 3 or 4 different ways you can use it. You can, with a normal check, which is your charisma -1, you can disguise yourself as someone of the same race and gender that's just not you, and people just won't recognize you. Or you can try to disguise yourself as someone of a different gender, which is kind of difficult. And then
Depending on how different they are from you, the more complicated it is to get it successful, right?
yeah, and then
That makes sense.
And then there's a combination different race and gender, which is even more difficult. And then there's trying to disguise yourself as a specific person to impersonate them, which is like the most difficult of all. It's like a -10 to the roll. So there's like 4 or 5 different ways to use. It's basically 4 or 5 different checks on your proficiency section. But I'll go over that after you. I'll set it up after you actually finish.
All right, proficiency's finished. What do we got to do next?
I think now would be a good time to break until the next time you have time to work on your character, because the next step is spells, and that's a whole other can of worms. And then after that is money and equipment, which for a wizard could be kind of complicated depending on your strength. You know, you have pretty low strength, so it'll probably be pretty easy for you. You know, you can't carry much when you have low strength anyways, so why waste your money on stuff you can't carry? Yeah, right now would probably be a good stopping point if that's what you were looking for.
No, I mean, like I said, I haven't. Well, now I have like 5 more hours before I should sleep, so I can get some sleep before this. But like, I'm just worried about you because you're at a later time. Like, I can understand you being like,
I am tired. So I think it would be a good idea to give you some spells that you should probably look at and read. You know, spells that most other necromancers I've come across choose at level 1. So
yeah, I'm looking at the wizard spells by school, looking at the necromancy specifically.
Yeah, I'm sure you've come across animate dead animal. That spell. So specialist wizards, the cool thing about specialist wizards is every time you gain a level, you get to choose a spell of your specialty that you just add to your book without even rolling to see if you're successful or not. You just straight up pick a spell of your specialty. And then to learn other spells that are not of your specialty, you actually have to find copies of the spells written down, whether it's on a scroll or someone's book, you know, book of magic, or if it's carved into a wall or something. And you have to use. You have to use read magic in order to do so. So, and then each spell has a certain amount of pages as well. So you do have to roll for pages on the necromancy spell that you choose. But, so each wizard, when they start at level 1, they roll 3d4, and that's the number of spells they get at level 1.
Okay.
And
should I just do that now so I can get an idea of what I kind of want to get?
Yes.
I can just
probably.
look at least.
Yeah. Yep.
So
go ahead and roll.
3d4?
Yeah. You know how to open up the dice roller and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess there's a quick dice roller now, where you just hover over the D20.
Looks like I got 9. Does that mean I get 9 spells?
Yes, you get 9 spells plus your free necromancy spell at level 1. You get to choose a necromancy spell, any necromancy spell you want, and you just put it in your book without even
From
rolling.
what level? Just first level or
From
any
first
level?
First level only, yeah. Yep.
Okay. So chill touch or detect undead. Or
and there's also animate dead animals. If you look in the complete book of necromancers, I think it's in there.
necromancers. Spells. New wizard spells. First level spells. Animate dead animals, corpse link, exterminate, locate remains, spectral voice.
Yep. There's a bunch. So just be aware that creating undead and outright killing somebody with necromancy is an evil act. So if you want to remain, not evil, you might want to use those spells kind of sparingly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my character is particularly worried about being evil, just about everyone figuring it out.
Yeah.
So she would use it minimally so nobody knew what was happening.
Right. Yep. Maybe when others aren't around or something. But then...
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with... Oh, sorry.
If the rest of the party ever saw her, controlling the undead that she created, they might think something was up, too.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so there's always that to take into consideration.
I think I'll take Corpse Link because as at least one of the spells, like my free my free spell.
Yeah, that is a free spell. So it's
Because
not counted in
Go
your
ahead,
9.
sorry.
It's not counted in your 9 spells.
Oh, cool. All right.
But
Um,
two of those 9 have to be read magic and detect magic. They're already chosen for you.
Yeah. That's fine.
Because you have to have those to be a wizard, period.
Nice. Oh no, dude. She would just. I'm gonna get spectral voice. She would just have so much fun fucking with people.
What does that do?
It's similar to ventriloquism. However, the caster's voice issues only from the mouth of a specified corpse, skeleton, or zombie. It will not sound like the caster's voice. It will sound, if it's a cadaver zombie, it will sound like a scratchy voice of the deceased individual. A skeleton will be a soft, raspy whisper. And for the duration of the spell, which cannot be ended prematurely, the caster's voice emanates from the dead corpse or undead creature. As a result, the wizard is unable to cast any additional spells requiring verbal until the spectral voice is expired. And it's 1 turn per level.
Huh.
Maybe not. The material component is a preserved tongue. I would need to get a preserved tongue though.
I don't use material components in Solid Hex.
Okay.
So the reason for that is material components are an optional rule anyways in the player's handbook. And I've played a necromancer before where I was required to keep track.
To get all the shit?
Yeah, to keep track of all my material components. And
it was a pain, wasn't it?
It was, because when you play a wizard, you have to track, eventually you have so many spell books, you have to track what spells are in all the spell books that you have in your backpack, okay? And then track all the spells that are in your library, in your tower, or whatever, wherever you store your spell books. And that becomes a huge hassle. And then having to track what spells you have memorized, and then all your material components as well that you have on you and that you have back in your lab and whatnot. It's this huge paperwork nightmare. So I cut out material components altogether to make it easier for wizard players, because having books of spells is bad enough. But the thing about this game is, if you don't track how many pages each spell takes up and all that, there's a bunch of mechanics in the game that are obsolete, completely obsolete. So that's why I put that you saw that spell book that I gave you. It tracks each spell, like how many pages each spell takes up. And this is only...
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. And traveling spell books are only 50 pages. So you kind of have to be choosy, on what spells you put in, because you might run out of pages and then you have to carry this whole other book. And each book is 3 pounds. And wizards tend to be not very strong.
You're talking to somebody who has a -1.
Yes. Yeah, your character can only carry 20 pounds before you start noticing. Like, hey, I'm carrying too much weight. This is really heavy. So, that's something to be aware of, is the weight of each book is about 3 pounds. So, there's these mechanics that I actually use. There are spells and other mechanics in the game that are linked to, how many spellbook pages each spell takes and whatnot. So I use all these mechanics because, if I don't, then there's a whole bunch of spells that are useless. There's like entire monsters that are just, why even have them in the game? Because the spell book pages aren't being tracked. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why we track all the pages and, you know, what
That makes
spell
sense.
books you have on you and yeah. Okay.
I've decided to actually go with Corpse Link.
Nice.
The only thing I can't see about Corpse Link is how it's activated.
Let's see.
Like with Spectral Voice, I have to point and buzz to do it. But this one, I can't see anything.
Let's see. All right. So that was in the Book of Necromancers, right?
Yes.
And how did you find the spells? Was it under?
First level spells.
Was it under Necromancers, the file Necromancers, or how did you find? How did you get to
It
the
was
spells?
under Dark Art.
Dark Arts. Okay. New Wizard
And
spells.
then New Wizard
First
spells.
level. Corpse Link.
Mm-hmm.
Range 10 yards per level. Verbal somatic material. Duration 1 turn per level. Casting time 1. With this versatile spell, a wizard establishes a sensory link between him or herself and a corpse or a freshly animated zombie of a human, demi-human, or humanoid within the spell's range. So it just has to be a dead anything. Sight.
Yep.
The caster can see what the corpse or undead creature sees as if looking through one of the creature's eyes. Sound. The wizard can now hear through one ear, exactly as if standing, blah, blah, blah. And as you gain levels, it adds one more sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually had a character use this before on the Roll20 version of the campaign. I think I have this in the spell index. Let me
Sweet.
check real quick. So you cast it, and any corpse or undead creature within 30 feet per your level.
Oh, it says 10 yards per level. Oh, 30 feet, right. 30 feet makes sense. 10
Yeah,
yards per level.
yeah. So and then there's no saving throw for the creature. You know, the undead or
It's already dead.
Yeah. It says saving throw none. They just don't get a save. And you're able to, you know, use the sense that you indicate. So that's pretty cool.
But the question is, like,
Corpse Link.
is there any, like, physical thing I have to do that would give me away if I was using it?
Oh, yeah, it does say verbal somatic material. So, yeah, if you were using it, someone could roll spellcraft and see that you were using that spell. If they were successful.
Well, yeah, but that's, like... But, I mean, like, when I was looking at Spectral Voice, I have to physically point at the body and make a buzzing noise.
Oh.
Like, that's something that anybody standing near me would notice. That's what I mean, is, like, anybody who's not looking for it, would they notice if I was casting this spell?
Yes. Yeah, anyone who is proficient in spellcraft that saw you cast
No, I'm
this
not
spell.
talking about, like, I'm not talking about, like, that. I'm talking about, like, if there's somebody next to me who's never seen a spell before, would I just be standing with my eyes closed, or would I be humming or making some sort of sign that I was doing magic?
Yeah, they would know that you were casting a spell. Everyone, when you cast a spell, everyone around you knows that you're casting a spell. Anyone that can see you or hear you. It's just that only proficient spellcrafters can determine what spell you're casting. And they have to actually pass their proficiency check. So
I could potentially say that this is just me using a spell that expands my senses.
you
Without
would be able to tell people that, but it whether or not they knew you were lying is up to their own proficiency check in spellcraft. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So,
how would I? Well, okay. So in that quest, how would I tell you that I was casting a spell? Because if I say up straight up, I'm doing Corpse Link, they're gonna be like, Corpse Link? Who does Corpse Link? Oh, that's a necromancer.
when you actually roll initiative to cast a spell, you. So we can actually do this right now. I'll show you how to actually cast a spell. So if I'd say, you know, initiative. So what you do is you click on. I'm going to open up the turn order tracker just for this. So go ahead and click on the Marley token, and then click on see up at the top where it says hashtag special powers.
Click it.
Yeah, go ahead and click on special powers, and then click on arcane, and then click on necromancy and level 1.
Oh, it says wizard spells. So I have to hit level 1 for that first.
Yeah, level 1, and then necromancy.
Yeah.
And then what was it called? Corpse Link should be on the list.
It is not.
It's
it
not?
only says animate dead animals and chill touch.
Huh. Let's see. Find
There's a ... What's the ... do?
corpse. Wow, I could have sworn he had Corpse Link. NPCs by region.
Oh, is this something that you've put into the system? All of this?
I had a player who used oh no, it wasn't Corpse Link, it was sensory maybe it was like a level 2 necromancy spell. 3.
Okay.
It was called like sensory something. Let's see, index, find sensory input, sensory signature, sensory signature, sensory input, something input. There was a spell that was very similar to this. That's necromancy, and I have it in
All of these buttons I'm pushing, can you see them or no?
input. No. I have those set up for GM roll, so people can't see what you are rolling.
They can't see me specifically choosing necromancy, essentially.
Right. Yeah, they cannot. They can't tell that you're going through the menu. But if you were to cast the spell in front of someone who was a proficient spellcraft, or someone who is proficient with spellcraft,
they could figure it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. So I'll have to I'll make a template for Corpse Link for you.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of that spell that guy used. It was like sensory perception or something like that. I don't remember. But it was necromancy. Totally was necromancy. But anyways, I'm getting really tired now. It's almost midnight.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna do all my bio stuff and the things I can do. I'm gonna look through the spells and see which ones I like.
Yeah.
That way I have some idea when we talk.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pop on like 30 minutes earlier so we can finish building this before everyone gets on, or do you want me to just wait until the time?
There's basically no way that we would be able to finish this character before tomorrow's session.
Today. So we'll maybe like next week or something?
Yeah, that would be the first session that you would play in, but after the session for in 10 hours from now, after that session, then you and I can get together again and finish your character, so she'll be ready for next weekend. Is that okay?
Okay. Wait, you said 10 hours?
Yeah.
I thought you said the sessions were 5 hours long.
Yeah, it starts in 10 hours and then ends 5 hours after that.
Okay, so I might, since this is this week and I don't have to be up for the full session, and you stream the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'll watch, I don't know if I want to watch the stream, not because it will be interesting, just because I want to be just as lost as my character when she joins this party.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I might just wake up before your stream ends, catch like the last hour of it at that point.
Okay.
And that way I can alter my sleep schedule starting next week.
Yeah, and you can tell pretty much almost exactly when we're done with the session, because after I shut down the stream, we kind of have like maybe a 5 to 10 minute conversation about things that went on and stuff like that. And then I pretty much leave the voice chat and I go on to other things such as helping people finish their characters. So
yeah.
All right.
Well then, I'll like read all the rules about necromancers and being a human, and like refresh my brain on how all of this works.
Yeah.
That way I have less questions tomorrow. And then I will make a document with like the spells I'm thinking of and any other questions, and send them to you on Discord. Not that you need to look at them immediately, but that way I don't forget to.
Yeah.
And
you
then I'll also message you when I wake up in the morning, so that you just know I'm there, so I'm not just hovering.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll find a face for my girl.
Cool. Yeah. They call that an avatar, I think, for the character sheet. Yep. And the doctor too, right?
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Cool. All right, so I'll see you. For me, it's tomorrow, technically still, because it's 11:59. But for you, it's like what, this
also
afternoon?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Also tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.
Yep. Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And for our viewers, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this live on Twitch, we have links available down below to our, if you like who we are and like what we do, you can leave a small donation on our PayPal, or pledge as little as $1 a month on our Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube, those links to Patreon and PayPal are on the home page for the channel. And again, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.